deaths occur in mountain climbing on the descent, right? So if you're a retirement guide, we have to guide people to and through retirement. When we first transitioned, I came from MetLife, when we first transitioned to MassMutual, and I was looking at my email tag, and it said financial guide. At first I said, what is this? How does anybody know where we work? And then I thought, oh my gosh, financial guide, that's brilliant. Who thought of that in here? Don't raise your hand. Kudos, financial guide, all right? You can take that a step further. How many of you have friends or associates or people that you do business with that for whatever reason haven't done business with you? How many of you have people like that in your life, right? Here's what you say to them. Listen, hey Fred, I've known you for a while. I'm not sure if you know what I do, but that's okay. If you ever find yourself in a place where you're worried or concerned about your retirement, come and see me. I'll take care of you. Information without emotion is not retained. So when you approach somebody with some aspect of whatever you do, whatever recommendation that you're giving, if you attach that to an emotion, they're going to remember that. And so don't write any of this down. Feel what I'm telling you. Think about that. Information without emotion is not retained. Action item number 2. What was my action item number 2? I'll get back to it. All right, so let's talk about, what was my last action item? Referrals. Here we go.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So we're all retirement guides, right?
Yeah,
this is how I approach people. I'm a retirement guide. Anybody work or have a prospect that is a do-it-yourselfer? So I work out of Silicon Valley. I work with a lot of computer software engineers. Any of them, do you think, are do-it-yourselfers? Right? But let me ask you this. How many of you manage your own money? Why? My team manages my money. When I left Met, I rolled my money immediately over to my team. You know why? Because I need to know, if I'm not here, if yesterday was my last day, or if I was incapacitated and I can't make decisions on my own, I need to make sure that my family's going to be okay. So why do you manage your money? That's about conviction. If you trust in your team that much and you delegate that to your team, that means you have a lot of confidence in them. And if you don't, that's something to think about, right? Why do you manage your own money? So what do you say to the do-it-yourselfers? I pose this question all the time. When you go on vacation, Mr. or Mrs. Do-it-yourselfer, do you prefer to be guided or do you prefer to be on an adventure? We just got back from Italy a few weeks ago. I've skied my whole life. We decided to hire a guide, a group of us hired a guide to take us in Cortina, this area called the Salaronda. Anybody hear of that? 44 kilometers of skiing. Yeah, 44 kilometers. Any idea how far 44 kilometers is? Yeah, me neither. I was constantly trying to convert liters to ounces, miles to kilometers, pounds to euros. 9 hours ahead. What time is it here? My brain is fried. 44 kilometers. Best day I ever had. Vincenzo says, all right, last run of the day. Meet me at this chalet. I will buy you a drink. A bombardino. Anybody ever had a bombardino? Delicious Italian drink. We had our drink, last run of the day. We're all pretty tired. We get out. He says, by the way, it's 3 kilometers long. Any idea how far 3 kilometers is at the end of the day when you've been skiing? Sun's going down, can't see very well. I'm in the front of the group and I'm going, please, God, please don't fall, please don't crash. But I couldn't see, it was dark, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is this a mogul? Do I need to slow down? Here comes Vincenzo, flying by me, backwards. I did the same thing. I smiled and I laughed. I said, what am I worried about? Just get behind him and let him guide me down. Best day ever. And I've skied a lot of days in my life since I was 8 years old. It was epic. We were guided. Consequently, in that last 5 days we spent in Amalfi. Anybody been to Amalfi? Beautiful place. My father-in-law decided to take a hike alone, unguided. A couple people in our group had done it the day before. Hand-drawn map by the bell person up front. 3 different Italian words and phrases. We're thinking, no problem, we can do this, not a problem. An hour and a half into this 4-hour hike, I'm thinking we're lost. We're coming by these abandoned buildings, probably 600-700 years old. The trail is non-existent at times. There's no signs to be had. I'm watching, anybody watch Walking Dead? I'm thinking zombies are gonna pop out of this thing any moment. And there's no signs. I'm looking at this hand-drawn map and I'm realizing we don't even know what these words mean. For all I know, it means don't go here. You're lost, right? Long story short, we made our way around 4 hours later, and it was an adventure. We had a great time. Do your clients prefer to be guided, or do they want an adventure when it comes to their retirement? Let me leave you with this. Oh, sorry about that, Shane. Let me leave you with this, and I'll give you my take on it. Be ashamed to die unless you've scored a victory for mankind. What that means to me, if my team and I can make our clients' retirements epic and give them peace of mind that they're going to be okay for the rest of their lives, whether they make it or not, then we've done our job. And that's why I believe that we are blessed with one of the best careers in the world. But don't tell anybody. Thank you very much, everybody, for having me.
Holy cow! That was way better than I thought.
Awesome.
That was awesome. One more round of applause. You all right?
He knew.
I'm honored to have sat here and to hear you talk, Andrew. Seriously.
Thanks,
so
Tom. Thank you.
Our next presenter is actually a good friend of mine. I'm not sure he knows that. He's a good friend of mine, somebody I look up to. I've known Shane for quite some time. For those of you that know Shane, he has a nickname, Ribeye. So if you see him, call him Ribeye, he likes that. But quick story for Shane, we were in Hawaii and they were doing this zip lining tour. We got this thing in the mail, it tells you, what event you're gonna pick and all that. And it said weight limit, 250 pounds. And I was like, dang it, I weigh more than 250 pounds. I can't go zip line, that's embarrassing, right? Called him when we were talking, he's like, I'm over 250 pounds too. And he says it with a much better accent, we'll hear that in a minute. He goes, let's do it, let's get under 250. And like, I got a mile to go, just so you know, of 26 miles here. And he doesn't have as far. So I get to Blue Chip, and I didn't hit the goal, man. I tried. I mean, while I was eating Dunkin' Donuts, I was trying. I really was. I was trying hard. Cut it down to half a dozen, but Shane was committed. So he's working out the night before. I mean, he's drinking too. So I'm not sure how that all pans out. But the morning of, he goes on 22-mile run in full clothes. This is not a joke. This is true. He runs to the place where you have to be weighed. And he takes his clothes off. All of them. Am I making this up?
I left my shorts on.
You did not. You did not. He weighed in at what number?
Well, before, 249 and a half.
249 and change. He did it. Discipline. Then he met us for breakfast and pounded this big thing. Please help me in introducing Mr. Shane.
I gotta take a moment. Wow, there's a lot of people out there. I'm almost 50 years old, so I'm learning to appreciate these times more and take my time. Also, I practiced yesterday and my speech was 15 minutes too short. So, we're gonna tell some stories. And since you brought that story up, and my speech is real short, I can tell it accurately. I do go on a run, I get there and I weigh, and I'm 250 and a half, all right, with everything off but my shorts and underwear. And the underwear part's very important, since we've been talking about underwear today. Anyways, I'm thinking I'm a salesperson. I can talk this lady into, it's 250 to go. I'm 250 and a half. And I'd lost 35 pounds to go. And so